خلينا ما نضحك على بعض. Most of us 3/4 وقتنا on social media, on our phones, no matter what social media platform you use. So most of our time عم نطلع على غيرنا، على غير creators، على غير businesses، على غير successful people، على more successful people. So most of our time is spent comparing ourselves to others. Hi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. يلي ما حضر أول حلقة، إذا أنتوا بتتابعوني صار وقت وما حضرتوها، ما بعرف شو بدي أقول لكم صراحة. Go back and watch it, cause إذا أنتوا جداد, it's okay. After this episode ends, I would highly recommend you to go watch the first episode. But for those of you who don't know me, my name is Maria Saab. I'm a high performance coach أو مدربة أداء عالي. I work with C-level executives, leaders, entrepreneurs, professional athletes, and artists. بشتغل معهم mentally تساعدهم يتخطوا حيلا حجوزات معقول يكونوا عم بوقفون from reaching their full potential, and we put the perfect plan to help them reach their peak potential sustainably. يعني بلا ما يكون يوم they're doing well, يوم they're not doing well, and across different areas of their lives. So مش بس بالكارير, بس كمان health, relationships, personal level, knowledge, intellect, skills, adventures, life, everything, because you deserve to live this kind of life. Besides coaching, I'm also an international speaker and corporate trainer. And I'm the founder and CEO for Home of Greatness, which is a project that I'm so excited to share with you soon, inshallah. For now, what we do is we do master classes, retreats, international retreats, where we bring people from all over the world together so that we grow together, we support each other, and we connect with people who are just as ambitious as we are in order for us to feel a little bit less alone on this journey to growth and transform. So in this episode, I'm going to be talking all about comparison and why, after working with all of these high-performing individuals, why is comparison a trap and actually not really realistic. نحن بس نكون عم نفتح السوشيال ميديا، أنا رح أحكي من أنتو وأنا مش بس أنتو، يعني we're all subject to this. نصير نطلع على the successes of people شو عم بحققوا، بنصير نطلع على how they're dressing, how they're looking, where they're going, what they're doing, بشو عم بيشاركوا, etc. And منبلش نقارن إنه يا الله, why am I not doing that? Look at what they're doing, or they're doing so much better than I am. أو بنصير نخفف من قيمة حالنا ومن قيمة القصص اللي نحن هلأ عم نعملها, ومننسى إنه كل شخص is on their own journey, on their own path, and on their own timeline. القصص اللي أنا هلأ عم بقطع فيها هي exactly أنا هلأ شو بحاجة تقدر أوصل لمطرح ما أنا لازم أوصل. والقصص اللي أنا هلأ عم بقطع فيها يلي يمكن كون شايفتها إنه منا كتير مهمة, منا كتير كبيرة, العالم يلي عم يطمحوا إنهم يوصلوا لأنا وين شايفيني أنا already way ahead of the game. Here it's important to really reflect on where do I stand in my own journey to becoming the highest version of myself. Where do I stand right now in my own journey to achieving my goals? لأنه هيدا هو أهم شيء. The most important thing هي where do I want to get? القصص اللي العالم عم تعملها هن القصص اللي رح تساعدهم إنهم يوصلوا لهن وين بدهم يوصلوا. But does it really help me? Is it really what I want? Am I really going after what looks good? لأنه if I really want to get to this life where I feel like I'm successful, I feel like I'm the healthiest version of myself, I feel like I'm really living the life, لازم كمان أقطع بقصص, أتخطى قصص, وهول القصص كلهم بيصيروا unfortunately behind the scenes. Most people بيفرجوكم all of the wins on social media. It's a reminder. I know you know, but I need to remind you because I'm always going to be that one friend that says it to you in your face. People will always show you what's going well. لأنه هن كمان, they want to be looked at as someone who is successful, someone who is doing well, someone who is happy. By nature, we share the good things. We don't really share the bad things. We don't share the struggles. We don't share the sleepless night. We don't share the times where we're crying, where we're not feeling good. We don't share the heartbreaks. Some people right now, and it makes me happy that they're sharing these vulnerable things. They are being more authentic online, and I love to see it. I love to see authenticity when people get out and speak about their struggles. I love it and I celebrate it. which is what we really need to see more of. يلي أنا بجرب قد ما فيي to do it on my own platform. Sometimes I make sure that I show people the long hours that I work, not to show them, hey, look, I work long hours, but to show if there's someone that is working long hours and they're not feeling okay, and everybody, all of their friends are going out and partying, and they're sitting in their office or at home and working on their goals, that they're not alone. There's someone else that's out there doing that same thing. They could feel as if they're not alone in this journey, because they're not. There are so many people who are going through that, but they're not posting about it. Heyda, it's a small reminder. وقت العالم يكونوا عم بحطوا لكم posts on Instagram, just know that these are only the highlights. These are not really what's happening in the behind the scenes. Whether it's a relationship, you see happiness, you see them traveling, you see, and then after a few months or a few years, unfortunately, we hear this person's divorcing, these people broke up. Why? Because there are so many things behind the scenes that were happening that most people were not aware of. People show you that they're making so much money, and they talk about how much money they're making, and they want to help you make more money. And then a few years later, you hear that they're in prison or they're getting investigated because they haven't been doing things that are legal, right? Or people show you that they're eating healthy all the time, etc. And then a few years later, they talk about their journey in eating disorders. So you really don't know what's happening behind the scenes. So what's the solution here? The solution in this case is that you only focus on your own journey. Look at these people for inspiration, just for you to know that if they can do it, then I can do it too. Of course, I'm just giving examples here. All of these examples don't really apply to everyone. If you're successful and making a lot of money, really happy for you, go get it. That's what I want to see. I want to see people win. And it doesn't have to mean all of the other stuff, right? I'm just giving examples. But what's really important here, and the real solution to that, is that you just focus on your own journey. Because when you focus on your own road and on your own journey, that's what's gonna help you make sure that you're gonna get there. If you wanna look at people who have gone there before you, look at them. Look at them to get inspired that if they can do it, then I can do it too. Look at them to learn new skills, new habits, but don't look at them to compare yourself to them. So how do I focus on my own journey, and how do I know that I am actually on the right path? Number one, we talked about it in the first episode. Be aware of where you stand today and accept where you stand today. Number two is to have clarity on where you want to get, because your brain, without clarity, is going to go back to what's familiar. And sometimes what's familiar is not really what's the good thing for our growth. It's not really what serves us. In order for us to make the unfamiliar familiar, and in order for us to start helping our brain to take us towards where we want to get, we need to give our brain clarity. So what is it that I want? Where do I want to get? What kind of person do I want to become? How do I walk? How do I talk? How do I dress? How do I walk into a room? How do I make other people feel when I walk into a room? What is it that I'm doing? What's my lifestyle? Where do I live? Who am I surrounded by? What are those people? Who are those people that I'm surrounded by? Whether it's in a network, my work, or my friends. What quality of friends do I have? What kind of relationship do I want? And allow yourself to ask for what you want. Allow yourself to aim big, because you can. There's absolutely no reason why you can't, unless you choose not to. Also, go back to the first episode, because I talk a lot about that. So, okay, I'm very clear on where I want to get. I know where I stand. This is where I reverse engineer. What does it take for me to get there? See, when you look at social media, or when you look at other people's journeys, or when people tell you 5 steps to make $10,000 today. If I'm here, but not if I'm here, and I do these 5 steps and they don't work for me, I fail and I think I'm the failure. But that's not true. These 5 steps work from where I stand, or from where that person stands. But does it work for where I'm at, from what I know, from my journey, to where I want to get? So it's not personal. It's just, maybe this is not the strategy that I need to be using for me to get to where I need to get. Maybe this is not applicable to where I stand right now in reference to where I want to get. So that's why it's important to know, where do I stand in relation to where I want to get? What is the right journey from that place? So this is where I want to be, and this is where I'm at. What do I need in order for me to get there? What knowledge do I need to gain? What skills do I need to have? What people do I need to get to know? What maybe environments do I want to be in? Is there any place I need to travel to? What outfits do I need to get if I want to have this kind of style? Where do I need to spend my focus, my energy, my time? How do I need to eat? What time do I want to wake up? What are the habits that I want to have? What are the beliefs, the thoughts, the stories that I'm going to tell myself? How am I going to talk to myself? And then once I have this clear, then this is where I start to organize it. I put it on a timeline. Realistic timeline. Do not set yourself up for failure and ask too much of yourself. If right now, with being realistic of where I stand, again, right now, my schedule is extremely busy, or right now I have family that's coming over that's gonna take a lot of my time. Be realistic with yourself. This is where I'm at, this is where I stand, this is my reality, these are my emotions, these are the people around me, this is where I live, etc. Be realistic. From there, what's the right next step? That's it. Because if you take the right next step, then you're going to be able from there to take the right next one, and then the next one, and then the next one, and suddenly you wake up and you realize that, oh wow, I'm there. It's like you go to the gym every single day, you don't see the difference, but when you look 3 months out, you look at yourself and you're like, oh, whoa, I've really changed. You don't see the small milestones that you're doing, which is something that a lot of high performers also suffer from, because high performers are very ambitious and they're people who want to achieve more because they know that they're born for greatness. So they're constantly working and working and working and working, and they rarely stop to celebrate their wins. They rarely stop to look at what I call not the forward gap that I was talking about right now, but the reverse gap. Looking at where I am today versus where I was before. What did I know then? What do I know now? How did I act then? How do I act now? Because this reverse gap gives me a lot of confidence. It reminds me of the journey that I have overcome. It reminds me of how far I've come to become the person that I am today. But if I'm constantly comparing myself to other people on social media, it makes me forget all about that. It makes me forget truly my journey, because this is what I really have. That's it, my journey, and what I want to do with that. There's an exercise that's going to help you with that I usually give my clients, and I'm going to share it with you guys. I want you to talk to 5 people. A childhood friend that knows you since you were very little, a school friend or university friend, a family member, a coworker or a colleague, and someone that has met you recently or the newest version of yourself. And I want you to ask those people to give you 3 things that they love about you and 3 things that they think you could do better. Why is this exercise important? Because the 3 things that they're going to tell you they love about you, some of them you would expect, but there are some answers that are going to surprise you, because you think that you do some things because, of course, everybody does that. It's not special because you're so used to doing it. But no, it is special. It is so special about you that it stands out. And in the way that you do that thing. So you're going to see that people see details in you that you overlook, that you think they're not important because it's so much of who you are that you think that this is normal for everyone to have it, but it's not. And the things that it's good if you work on, and not what you not like about me. What do you think I could work on? Careful, okay? It's important because different people see us in different scenarios, and they see different versions of ourselves. And it's always important to take whatever people give us, not in a way that is personal or in a critical way, but in a way where, okay, how can I get better? How can I grow? That is not to say that whatever they tell you, you need to take to heart and that is the right thing. It's important to also ask them, why do they think that? Why are they telling you this? Because their explanation of why will make you understand why they're saying it in a bigger concept or in a bigger frame. So understand why they are telling you these answers so that you understand how what you say and what you do impact and affect the people around you. So self-awareness is not just being aware of who we are, but it's also being aware of how we show up in the world. This is also part of self-awareness. There's a recent study that also has proven that. Once you do this exercise, it's going to be super helpful for you not to just see yourself from your point of view, but also to see yourself from other people's point of view. People who are there in your life in different roles in different parts of your life. And one thing that I want to challenge you with when you do that, when you're getting the answers, especially when they say 3 or more things that they love about you, do not jump in to say something back. I just want you to receive. Do not have to say, oh my God, thank you, you too, I love that about. No, just listen and receive the love. It might feel uncomfortable a little bit. It's okay, breathe through it, but be open to receive the love. And if you feel like you're so uncomfortable, I want that to be a sign of awareness for you to realize that receiving love is not so familiar to me. What am I going to do about it? And then if that is the case, another exercise that I want you to do is every night before you sleep, I want you to ask yourself, how was I loved today? And I want you to teach your brain to look at where you are loved and not on where you are not loved. And the more that you tell your brain to focus on that, the more that you're training your brain on the identity or the belief that I am loved. And the more that you focus on where you are loved, the more you start to believe that you are actually loved. And the more you start to see it everywhere. When our brain is too focused on searching for what we're missing and what we're lacking and who we're not and who they are and how they are so much better than us, then at some point, we get all of this lack and negativity and negative information that we often get paralyzed. And we start overthinking too much on what we still need to do and what we're not doing. And the critical voice gets so high, and somehow we find ourselves so paralyzed and not able to do anything anymore. I was listening to a podcast a few months ago on a Secret Service agent, and she was talking about how important it is that when someone's shooting a gun at you, or how when there's something that is going on, if you freeze, you will die. So just keep moving forward, keep running, keep going, etc. And the same thing applies to our everyday life. When you get stuck and when you stop moving, when you stop doing anything and you get so stuck in your voice and the voices in your head and you stop moving, this stagnation means death. This is when you feel stuck. This is when you get stuck and you stop moving forward and you stop growing and you stop evolving. It's like everything in the universe. The universe itself is constantly expanding. Everything is constantly moving and constantly growing. So whenever you feel like I'm overthinking too much, I feel paralyzed, I cannot move anymore, do one simple, tiny thing, but keep moving. Laws of physics. An object at rest remains at rest. An object in motion remains in motion. Whatever it is, even if it's calling a friend, even if it's going out for a walk, taking a few deep breaths, writing down your thoughts, anything, whatever it is, do something, but keep moving. Don't stop. And once you start taking action, you will realize that what the right next step is. But if you don't start walking on that path, you'll never know the different doors that are on that path. You sitting there and trying to guess and plan and over-plan and over-study everything that needs to be done for that journey is not really helpful, because once you get on that journey, you're going to realize, oh, there are so many different elements I didn't even know exist. I'm going to meet so many people I didn't even know they were there. And they will guide you onto the right next step. But what you need to be doing is just take one step forward. And as I always say, action cures fear. And it cures doubt. And the more you practice, the more you gain confidence, the more you stop wanting all of this acknowledgement and affirmation and feeling important from the outside world, because you would be so focused on yourself, on your journey, on who you are and who you want to be, that you don't see anything outside of that. And when you start practicing and enriching yourself with all of the knowledge, the skills, and the self-love, and you create a strong base for yourself, absolutely no one can shake that. No one. And I'll take that on a personal level, on my own life, on my own journey. Honestly, when right now, a lot of people tell me, wow, you've reached, that's so inspiring what you've reached, et cetera, et cetera. But they knew, or I've shared with a lot of people some of my goals back then. I'll tell you, most of these people didn't even believe that I could do it. I didn't care. I didn't even listen to those people. At a party, I had one guy come up to me and he was like, I'm so proud of where you're going. When you used to post at the beginning on social media, everybody, you didn't listen to the people who told you it was so cringe or it wasn't really good or etc. You just kept going and look at where you reached. And I'm like, oh, really? People used to say that? I didn't even focus on those people. I didn't even hear those voices. And I didn't even care because I knew where I was going. I have a vision and I still have it. I had it and I still have it. And I'm so focused on it that I don't really give a shit on what anyone else says or thinks because I believe in myself. I know I can get there. I know it is already done. It is just a matter of time for me to get there. And I'm just so focused on that. What's going to make me better? What's going to make me stronger? What's going to make me provide even more value and help even more people and create an even bigger impact? That's it. That's all I'm focused on. So whatever anyone says about me, whether it's positive or negative, it doesn't remove or take away anything because I already built a strong base for myself. And I just have to practice and practice and practice so I become better and better and better and better. And then somehow I look back and I'm like, oh, wow, I've come a long way. So when people right now are telling me, wow, what you've done is beautiful, first of all, I really appreciate it so much. But at the same time, I've already lived where I am now 5 years ago because I visualized it 5 years ago and I knew that I was going to get there. To me, this is not surprising. Right now, I'm in 10 years after because I know the vision that I want to create. Nobody sees it. They see this is too big, but I see this is too small compared to this. So this is where my focus is at. So whatever other people are doing, let them. I want people to succeed. I want them to be doing well. I want to succeed and I want to take everyone with me because their success is not going to take away anything from my own. I'm going to repeat that. Their success is not going to take anything from your success. Keep going, keep growing, let them succeed, let them be happy. Focus on your own self because when you do, you will succeed and you will be happy. I really hope that this episode added some value into your life. Thank you for joining me on this journey and thank you for growing with me as I grow. I know a lot of you guys have been following my journey for a long time. I really appreciate you guys. You have kept me going at so many phases in my life. And if you're new here, and if you've been here for a while, don't forget to support me through this journey as well. So please subscribe, like, if you have any questions or have anything that you want to say, comment and share it with the people that you love so that you continue to grow together as well. Wait. Let me know in the comments below what topics you would like me to talk about so that it's both our conversation.